Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, December 22, 2023. Both houses of Parliament have now passed the Domestic Violence Amendment Act to provide greater protection to victims. The Senate gave its assent yesterday following approval in the House of Representatives on December 19. The amendments increase the penalty for breaching protection orders from a maximum fine of $10,000 to $1 million and a sentence of up to 1 year in prison. The legislation also provides for more categories of persons who can make an application for a protection order. It includes the spouse or parent of an individual in respect of whom the conduct has been made or is likely to be made. In addition, a constable, a person approved by the minister responsible for social work, and the children's advocate can also make an order on behalf of a child. Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, piloted the bill in the upper house and outlined that it also makes provision to prohibit an individual against whom a protection order has been made from entering or staying in the victim's household.
The subsection now allows for the prohibition of the respondent from entering or remaining in the household of any prescribed person, entering or remaining in any areas specified in the protection area. Mr. President, it excludes or prohibits harassing the prescribed person, and here it is that the ordinary meaning of harassment may be used in its broadest terms in the context of domestic violence.
While she championed these amendments to the Act, Senator Johnson-Smith said a full review of the principal legislation was long overdue. To that end, the Senate also approved the Joint Select Committee to review the Domestic Violence Act. Senators Kamina Johnson-Smith, Cavan Gale, Abka Fitz-Henley, Donna Scott-Motley, Dr. Sapphira Longmore, and Sophia Fraser-Binns were named to join the members of Parliament recently appointed to consider and report on the bill. In the meantime, Senator Johnson-Smith says the government will continue undertaking measures to address the issue of domestic violence. She revealed that come January 2024, the administration will be providing more resources to increase the number of gender-based violence helplines specialists. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has welcomed a new $2.1 billion housing development for Kingston, which he says is in alignment with government's own interventions to stimulate development in that area. On Tuesday, Mr. Holness broke ground for the development that's being constructed by Sherburne Limited in Bournemouth Gardens, Kingston 2. The 10-story residence will accommodate 119 units, ranging from studios to two-bedroom apartments, all with waterfront views of Kingston Harbour. Amenities are to include a gated entrance, 150 parking spaces, an outdoor entertainment deck, roof terrace with a fitness center and pool, an on-site wastewater system, backup generator for common areas, and water storage tanks. BYD Construction is the contractor for the development, which is expected to be completed by the fourth quarter of 2025.
Whilst this is not a government-sponsored development, it's a private development, but private development does not happen unless the government creates the environment for it. Once a development like this is taking place, we have to pay attention to it in terms of ensuring that the physical infrastructure is there to support it and that the investment itself does not take away from the community but adds to the community.
Pointing out that waterfront properties are among the highest value real estate globally, the Prime Minister says government has begun to stimulate these kinds of development. He points to the new revetment, seawall and boardwalk installed along Port Royal Road, saying the intention is to pull people to the waterfront in an environment that is safe and gives utility for recreation.
Let us make this work. And if it works, I guarantee you that there are other enterprising developers looking on to see how this turns out. And if it is successful, East Kingston and Port Royal as a destination for housing development will take off.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force's e-ticketing system has been bolstered by the receipt of 3,000 sets of rugged handsets and printers from the Ministry of National Security. Portfolio Minister Dr. Horace Chang recently handed over the equipment in a ceremony at the JCF's Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTEB, on Elliston Road. The e-ticketing system is designed to be a more efficient and accurate alternative to traditional written tickets. It enables police personnel to issue a printed ticket on the spot with information about the offense, fine, court date, and other details. The system also allows for officers to instantly check outstanding tickets motorists may have, whether they are persons of interest or wanted, as well as information pertaining to their fitness, registration, insurance, and other personal data.
We took on the responsibility of really modernizing and executing an efficient, modern traffic ticketing system.
The presentation of the handsets follows the procurement of 750 devices, which were handed over in January. Since the launch of the new digitized traffic ticketing system on February 1, 2023, a total of 293,128 e-tickets have been issued by the police up to December 14. The Commissioner of Police used this week's function to urge members of the public, particularly vendors, to cooperate with the police's efforts to ensure the safety and security of citizens over the holiday period.
We know that people have to vend and make money, but just try and work with us as we work with other partners, the parish councils and so on, to allow you to make the money you need to make, but at the same time have a level of order.
Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Floyd Green, has announced that a more extensive fisheries incentive program will be implemented in 2024. This is to safeguard the coastal region where fishing is prohibited. In addition, the program is to help with sustaining healthy reefs while growing the fish population in the nearby fish region. Minister Green, who was speaking with JIS News recently, says fish sanctuaries also serve as a motivator for artisanal fishermen to venture further out into the ocean in search of larger catches.
That is critical, and we are continuing to see great catches from our lobster sector, our conch sector. In 2023, you will see that because we're going to continue the sustainable management. The
National Fisheries Authority is also in the planning stage to expand the area of no fishing zones in the upcoming months. And finally, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is taking steps to have Jamaicans with disabilities accommodated under the Overseas Farmwork program in Canada. Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr. tells JIS News that the ministry has been in discussions with several employers in Canada, some of whom have expressed openness to the idea. Meanwhile, Minister Charles Jr. says following visits to farms in Canada and the United States, the ministry is now advancing enhancements in the program, particularly in the selection and orientation of the workers to attract not only persons with the physical skills, but also the right mental attitude. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.